Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share with you some wins. Okay, I always share losses, so today I want to share some wins. And obviously, I don't want to share them just to brag because there's nothing to brag about, but I want to share the setup just to demonstrate and show you that the setup is always the same. I don't know if you saw the previous video where I literally um, explain why the losses are as important as the winners, if not more, because the setup is the same. So, in order to take the winner, you have to take a loss, a potential loss. So, today I want to show you the wins to show you that the setup is the same. Okay, today I have two trades to show you. The first is one on stock, and it's this one that it was the IONQ IONQ trade from yesterday, and it helped a little bit in the equity curve. That, as you can see, is a little bit drawdown. There were a lot of mistakes from my end, a lot of break-evens that at the end of the day are not break-evens because of, let's say, slippage and spread. So I have to deal with it. This is my first time, by the way, so I have to deal with, let's say, something that when you backtest, it's not considered, because when you backtest, especially if you backtest not on the platform but on TradingView, for example, like I did, you just open the position on TradingView like this one, but you do not have spreads or, let's say, commissions. Commission is very low, by the way, but you put the trade there and the trade remains there. When you go on a live environment like this one, things start to change a little bit, and so you have to get used to it. So for sure there were some mistakes from my side, but fortunately enough, this trade saved me from losing the account. I was three losses away from losing the account, because I just made a big mistake, but this is not the topic of this video. I will address the mistakes that I made in another video, but I just want to share with you that all the losses and break-evens that you see are just because of a mistake that I made. But apart from that, this is the trade that I want to show you. INOQ. I don't remember the ticker. Oh well, yes, IONQ, and this was a really big winner. And I want to show the setup. And then there is another one that is this one. And again, I'm not showing you these things to brag, but I just decide to be as honest as possible. So I'm, showing you the winners, the losses, the balances, and basically everything. Okay, I'm just planning when I will open my personal account to show the statement, the MetaTrader statement or the broker statement with the funds available, just for you to understand that what I'm doing here is real. Okay, so I really do not have any issue in sharing with you the floating and the balance. So I want that. I want, just to clarify that, because I want that you don't think that I'm bragging something, because I repeat, there's nothing to brag about, but I just, want to be as honest as possible. And to be as honest as possible, I need to share, these things too. So these are the two trades. One is US30 trade on 4 hours, so the higher time frame on Forex indices account. This is the main funding competition account. Obviously, I'm not trying to win the competition, because as a higher time frame, trader, it's really hard to collect the amount of trades required in order to be eligible to win the prizes in the competition. Again, this is not the topic of the video, so I will be more than happy to make another video where I go through the competition, how the winners are chosen, what is the meant funding environment. Okay, so this is not the topic of this video, but I just wanted to show you the account, the competition account, and tell you that my goal is not to win, because there are some rules to be met in order to be eligible for the prizes. And the most beautiful thing is that they don't want you, to over leverage or over risk, because they do not want all-in traders or gamblers. So the profit that you make, the percentage of profit that you make in the month is not the, let's say, what they base their analysis on to choose the 14 winners of the competition. So this is something unique. I don't know about anyone else that does something like that. So this is very, very important for a trader, okay, not for a gambler, for a trader. But this will be the topic of another video. I'm just showing you the platform, the floating, because I want to show you the trade itself, okay? So if you didn't see the previous video, I just suggest you to just a minute, guys, sorry. Okay. I just suggest you to go and see the previous video where I literally talk about the losses, because if you see that video and this video, you will see, okay, on your own, that the setups are the same. This is the most important thing. All the trade setup that I'm sharing with you, the breakdown that I'm making with you, are made just with one purpose in mind, with one goal in mind. And the goal is to show you that the setups are the same. There is consistency in the setup. This is the most important thing. And I know that I'm repeating myself like a fool, but this concept, this only concept, is what made me level up. Okay? So my goal in this channel is to bring you things that works. And if bringing, things that works mean repeating a concept thousands of times, sorry, I will do that, because my goal is to share with you something valuable. I want that you, after this video, after you see this video, you go on the chart and you have something, an understanding, a feeling of a sensation, okay, that something is, moving a step forward in the right direction. Okay, so if you have to take just one thing from this video, I want that this thing to be consistency in the setup. Okay, so let's go on the trading view right now. Okay, and this was the trade from yesterday. So as you can see, this time I want to show you on the trading view platform, not on the Miro. I don't want to make the screenshot to go on Miro to paste the screenshot. It's not necessary. It's okay to do it on TradingView. And here, as always, we start with the context, and the context, was a really trending context. Okay, as you can see, one-sided market, a really trending context. So I decided to trade in this context because of the direction, the strength, and the volatility of this asset in particular. This is the validation time frame, and as you can see in the validation time frame, we have the opening, and there's a gap here. We have the opening gap, and then a smooth sell-off to the, let's say, 5/10 EMA. I just want to recall you, everyone, that the magenta or purple line is the 5 EMA, the white is the 10 EMA, and the green is the 20 EMA. We have also the cyan, that is the 50 EMA, but I really don't use. It's just on the chart, but I really don't use a lot, okay? So this sell-off was smooth. As you can see, we have a pullback, we have an impulse, a big impulse, okay? And prior of that big impulse, there is another impulse. So as you can see, this was the yesterday, the day before yesterday's session, and as you can see, price was smooth, and you can see in the context too. We have very candles that are, going and going without anything that seem to be stopping them. So what I'm looking in a trade, especially in the validation time frame, is smoothness. Okay, big impulse, maybe not big in terms of percentage, but strong impulse. I want the price to show me strength, and then, sorry guys, and then a smooth sell-off. We have the sell-off, and then we can go in the entry time frame. Okay, the entry time frame, as you can see, we have the exit same setup. Price pausing on the 20, on the 20 or below the 20. I just prefer the setup where price goes below the 20, but in certain circumstances, also the setup where the price only taps the 20, it's a good setup. Okay, not always, at least for my back test, for my testing, but there are certain situations that is good to take a trade in that kind of environment. I prefer, repeat, when price just goes below the 20. So we have the first break, the first MB, and then we have the second pause outside of these lines. Okay, these lines just represent where orders are in this pullback. It's a visually representation of where orders are in the pullback. And then price pauses again, and especially this is a good pause because price is pausing on the 20, on a rising 20 and a rising 10 EMA. So very powerful because it means that EMA are sustaining, EMAs, are sustaining the price. And so it means that there is strength, that orders want to continue go higher. And I buy stop, obviously, the break of that zone, of that high. Okay. Then what about the management? This was the first candle. The first candle was not a big candle. I mean, the first candle didn't get there. So it was a nice candle. It shows strength, but I couldn't break even yet. Okay, so I waited. You can see, maybe let's do something like that. That's better. What is okay? You can see that we have two indecision candles, these red candles, and then when price with this candle just broke that high, I just broke even. The management is very simple. Since I'm in a prop firm and I can't hold overnight, I put to break even as as fast as I can, because when price, it's literally in a good context, price tends to go and tends to not come back. So there is really no reason why I have to wait to put the break even. Once price gave me what I want to see on the first candles, I just move to break even, and then if price comes back, it's a break even. Okay, but from my testing, I saw that the majority of time price just goes. It doesn't come back in the entry, let's say entry line, where I put my stop order. So I break even as fast as I can, and then I manage this way. 1 to 7 fixed RR, because again, from my testing, I saw that these kind of trades usually make 1 to 7, and it depends on the price action, but I usually trail the stop. If the price action is clean, I trail the stop, because if price, it happens sometimes that price get there and then reverse. I just don't want to waste, let's say, all the profits, the unrealized profits. So especially if we are at the end of the session, I just put my stop loss, I trail my stop loss in profit. Okay, if this is the kind of environment that we have. If maybe this is the kind of environment that we have, really doesn't make any sense to do something like that. So I leave the price, to do what it wants, and I just close the price if it didn't tap the take profit or the break even. I just close the profits at the end of the session. Okay, 1 to 3, 1 to 2, 1 to 4. I don't know. Okay, I just leave the price do what it wants. Okay, this is my management style for specifically for the challenge. And in this specific scenario, it happened that price tapped, okay, the take profit at 19:24, so 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m. from 16:21, okay? So from 4 p.m., 4:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. So 3 hours to get to the take profit. And the maximum amount of RR, so the risk reward, was 9. So I'm really happy to that I was able to close the trade at 1 to 7. Again, this is not just something that I guessing, okay? Because there are testings that are just my, let's say, my guideline, because we need data, and this is another important, very important. There are a lot of things that are important, actually. And this is another important topic and will be the topic of another video, but data is what you need in order to build your system, because you need to build your system from data, not from something that you guess or something that you think. Okay, so data showed me that 1 to 7 was the best risk reward. The majority of trades reached that 1 to 7. So this is why I have 1 to 7. And as you can see, the setup is always the same. And so this was one trade, the trade from yesterday. And then we have another one, and we have this one. Okay, this trade. And this trade is the one on US30, the indices. And it's the same, as you can see. Okay, so if we compare, if we compare, the underlying concept is the same. We have a good context, so price is going higher smoothly. Then here we have a big, as you can see, push. Then we have a sell-off to the 20 EMA, but this sell-off was something that I didn't like. As you can see, it's very different from this sell-off. This is a clean. There's no wicks, no back and forth, no indecision. In this one, there is a lot of indecision. So I just waited for price to give me another push and another pause. And as you can see, this pause is very similar to this one. Okay, so same thing, always the same thing. And then I waited for the first break. You could also consider this one, okay, as the first break. It depends on how you see the price. First break, and then the second break. Look at the second break. The second break happened on a rising and yes, on a rising 10 and 20. And here, again, on a rising 10 and 20. So EMAs are telling me that they want, to sustain the price, because probably there are orders there that, has been filled or will be filled to push price higher. And so this is the same concept. We have a pause, and I buy stop the pause. And the trade, as you can see, is the same. Now it's going. Now I can do anything, because on Forex, where I can, hold the trade overnight, basically. And when I say Forex, I mean commodities, indices, gold, so metals, and things like that. On this specific type of account, that is the competition of main funding competition account, I can hold overnight, so I don't have to have a fixed RR. Okay, so my management style in this specific scenario is to partial 50% of the trade at 1 to 5 or 1 to 6. It depends on the strength of the price action of the trade, and then let the rest run with a trailing stop loss. Okay, so yesterday we just missed the first partial for half an hour. Okay, it got to 4.5 hour instead of 5, and you could argue with me that this is showing indecision, so I could have partial before, and yes, you're right, but I was waiting, for the 1 to 5 because I saw the strength, and I was expecting, since we just broke the floating supply where there is the liquidity. I was just expecting price to pull back a little bit, maybe to catch up with the 20 again, and then to go on. The same thing that happened here. Price, as you can see, broke the floating supply, pulled back, catching with the 20, and then going higher. So this is what I was expecting. This is what I still expect here. But I don't know. I don't have the crystal ball, so I didn't know what will happen in the future, what's going to happen. And so I'm waiting for the 1.5 for the partial. So as you can see, different markets, different, let's say, management style. But the most important thing is the setup. Always the same, guys. Okay? So the losses are the same things of the break-evens that are the same thing of the winners. So now I'm managing this trade. There is very little that I can do. I'm just waiting for price to hit the break-even or to go and hit my partial. And today, I don't know. Yes, in 1 hour and a half will be another session, another maybe possibly others opportunities. But what I want to share, okay, in the video, the main concept is not only consistency in the setup, but consistency in the routine, okay? You have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined a lot, okay? What you see online, where you see day in the life of a trader, or you see, I call them the beach trader, that they trade from the phone or from the laptop, from the beach or from a party or from a cafe or a pub or a bar. It's not sustainable. If you want to treat the trading, let's say, journey as a career, as a professional career, that is not sustainable. You can trade from the phone. You can maybe manage an open trade from a phone. Okay, maybe you can manage, but you can't trade exclusively only. Sorry, guys, I can't try to say that. Exclusively. Okay, exclusively from the phone. So this is paramount. Okay, consistency in the routine every single time, local time, 3:30 p.m. That is like 9 a.m. 9:30 a.m. New York time, when the stock market opens. You are in front of the chart. You made your analysis. You are ready to look for the screener, because this is how I find the asset that I'm gonna trade for the day, for the session. So consistency in everything you do. The more consistent you are, and maybe this is too wide a topic, so I will go more in depth, okay, in another video. But as a consequence of your consistency in trading the same setup, you have the consistency in the routine, in doing always the same thing, in having I wouldn't say flat life, because it's not about the flat life, but something predictable. Okay, something predictable, because when you trade, you're basically recognizing patterns. Okay, and if you have patterns in life, and this I hope that I hope that helps. When you have pattern in life, it becomes even easier to recognize pattern in trading, because you are wiring, sorry, your brain that way in order to understand, to get used, to be used to see patterns, to leave patterns. Okay, so yeah, this is what the main topic of this video, and I hope, really hope, that it helped somehow. Just you know, a little flame, okay, in your head is all what I ask. Little flame, something that hit you in a different way, a concept, a word, an image. Maybe you now are thinking, okay, I go back, I see the spreadsheet, I want to see the previous trades to see if the setup is the same. I just encourage you to do that, because you will see that the setups are always the same. And if you want to do it faster, just go on Telegram, okay, and you will see that the setup is always the same. The things that I say are always the same, and this is another part of the consistency in what you say, because consistency in what you say, consistency in what you bring to the channel, is consistency in what you live, and consistency in what you trade. So I don't want to shit talk anyone, but channel where they bring every single day or every single week different topics, different strategies, different environment, different management, different things, different stuff in general, is not sustainable. Trading is boring. It's the most boring thing that I have ever made. It has to be boring. Okay? So yeah. Um yeah, basically this is everything. I think it's enough for today. So thank you guys. Just go check Mint Funding for the competition. Really a unique environment. I will be, making another video where I go in depth on this concept. Just join the Telegram, just join the channel, and we are going to see, as always, in the next video. Thank you for watching.